We would have a tough and hilly day ahead of us, so we made sure we started out early. So we geared up the troops just before it was light out for the day's forced march. We left the town Palace del Rey, or Palace of the King, while the streetlights were still on. This would be the toughest day that Harry and Jackie would encounter among their 5 days on the Camino. Our plan was to get a good number of kilometers under our belt while it was cool, since the forecast was for sun and heat later in the day. Thankfully, for a difficult day, we would pass by many towns, and much of the trail would also be shaded. Our first stop would be for subpar coffee, but great Santiago cake. Somewhere randomly on today's trail, we ran into an interesting local resident who was stamping passports and not selling anything, but instead just offering goodwill. She was very entertained by the fruit-based outfit for the day. We did briefly stop into a local church, but we had many more tough kilometers to cover, so the stops were actually pretty few today. Crossing a medieval bridge, we would enter a sizable town called Melide, at about the halfway point for the day. Although the local church may not literally be the design on the €10 bill, it certainly bears a resemblance. A bakery lured us in for our next stop of the day, before pushing on to our second half of our hike. Shortly after Melide, we would cross the Cadasol stream, a slow-moving river with stone slabs as a bridge. Now with less than 50 kilometers to go, our hilly day of 500 meters of elevation gain, and even more elevation loss, was going by slowly in a fully sunny day. Reaching Fraga Alta, we would stop for a drink and a quick bite before heading out for our last 6 kilometers of the day. Crossing one last medieval bridge at Ribadiza de Baixo, we were finally approaching Arzúa. As luck would have it, the place we were staying would be on the far end of town, but fortunately it was on top of a nice cafe. A town square was right across the street, where locals at an evening mass were singing When the Saints Go Marching In Spanish. Undiscerning about the menu, we picked a place based on the sunniness of the patio and had a nice meal with an Australian friend we had made, of course followed by ice cream. No sprains, no strays, but blisters on 3 of us.